Hi guys, in this video I will explain the complete process of short selling in a very simple and concise manner by taking an example. After watching this video, you will be absolutely clear about the whole concept of short selling. I will explain the process with a simple example and then we will discuss the reasons why short selling is extremely risky, then compare it with the normal share market purchase, and finally we will conclude by discussing two reasons for short selling: speculation and hedging. Please subscribe the channel if you have not done already. Short selling explained. There are three major parties involved in this trade: broker or any broking firm, short seller or the investor who wishes to conduct this trade, and the market where the trade happens. So if you want to do short selling, you will be the middle party, which is the investor or the short seller. There are four broad steps of short selling. Let me begin with the first one quickly. First is the investor or the short seller borrows some shares from the broker. Let's say he borrows 100 shares from the broker. Now focus on the term borrows and not purchases. Thus he doesn't pay the full price of the shares, just the interest amount he pays based on the tenure which is agreed upon. That means that those shares are not his own and have to be returned back sometime in future. Second, short seller or investor sells those shares into the market irrespective of the fact that he doesn't own them. Let's say that he sells those shares at 10 rupees each and thus he gets rupees 1000. As discussed, those shares are not his own, then they have to be returned back within a fixed time. Let's say it is a week. Within a week he buys back those shares from the market at, let's say, rupees 8 per share. Now the value of the share of the company has reduced from rupees 10 to rupees 8, and thus he gives back rupees 800 for buying back those 100 shares. Fourth step is finally he returns those shares to the broker and pays some fixed interest amount which was pre-agreed upon. His earnings would be rupees 1000, which he got by selling those borrowed shares, minus rupees 800 which he paid by buying back those borrowed shares. Thus the total earnings here become rupees 200. Obviously there would be some interest that he has to pay, thus the earnings will be little less than 200, but the whole concept here is that the investor expects the prices to fall. So that is the crux of this process and that is how the money is earned. Now let us see why this process is extremely risky. Whenever a short selling is conducted, as discussed, an investor expects the prices to fall. For example, the best case scenario would be that the prices will become 0 per share. In very hypothetically speaking, something very bad happens within the company whose shares has been purchased. In this case, he would sell those 100 borrowed shares at rupees 10 each and get 1000 rupees. Then he will buy back those shares at 0 rupees per share, thus eventually paying nothing for them. So the total earnings will be full 1000 rupees. It's a very hypothetical scenario, but I want you to know that this is the maximum a short seller can earn. The prices cannot go below 0. And even if they are 0, the maximum profit would be 1000 rupees and not a single rupee more. In other case, let's say if the prices rise, then what happens? Let's say within a week the prices become rupees 1000 per share after rising exponentially. For example, he paid 1000 rupees like before, and now as he has to return those shares, he has no option but to buy back all the shares at rupees 1000 per share. Thus initially he got only 1000 rupees. Thus the total loss here would be 9000 rupees. This is a very extremely risky trade because the losses are unlimited. There is no ceiling to where the prices of a company can reach, whereas the profit is fixed, as we have seen. You can take your time to understand this slide by pausing the video or going back, and I would love to hear your doubts on the comment section. Comparison with the normal share purchase. Expectation in share purchase is that the prices will rise so that we can sell the shares after the prices rise. Here in short selling, it is the exact opposite, where the investor expects the prices to fall so that he can buy back the borrowed shares from the market. Normally, selling is followed by buying. First, a person buys the shares and then sells them whenever the prices rise. Here, first there is selling and then there is buying, which makes it a unique process in itself. Maximum loss in share purchase is fixed, but in case of short selling, the losses can be unlimited, as we have seen. There can be unlimited profit in case of share purchase, but a very fixed profit in case of short selling. Speculation and hedging. Speculation is done for quick profit. Hedging is done for portfolio safety. Speculation short term, hedging long term. So whatever we have studied, if it is done with the motive to earn quick profit within a few days or weeks, it is called speculation. It's very risky. Only experienced traders knowing in and out of the markets must indulge in this process. Whereas hedging is done to secure the portfolio. For example, a person asks a fund manager to invest 1 lakh rupees. He puts 20% of 1 lakh, that is rupees 20,000, into short selling trade. So even if the prices fall, only 80% of the portfolio will take the hit, but the 20% of the portfolio will earn him some money. So this is kind of an averaging exercise which can be done in a very huge portfolios. This is it for the video. I hope I was able to explain it clearly. I would love to hear your feedback in the comment section, and please subscribe the channel if not done already.